Police rushed over to grab my camcorder. I accidentally hit the rewind button. Suddenly, time started flowing backward. My son and I were back to before it all happened. I quickly told my son to pull over. After getting out of the car, I curiously examined the camcorder. Before long, a police cruiser pulled up behind us. My son thought I was feeling sick and asked the white officer walking over for help, but the officer said we were illegally parked and was going to arrest us. My son stepped forward to argue, and the officer pulled out a taser and pointed it right at him, so I pressed the rewind button again. Time started flowing backward. We were back at the restaurant where we'd been eating. That's when my son accidentally squeezed ketchup onto his shirt. Out of curiosity, I pressed the rewind button. The clock started turning back, the ketchup returned to the bottle, and everything was like it never happened. What the hell? I spotted the same white officer eating in the restaurant, so I hurried my son toward the exit, but we still caught his attention. I drove as fast as I could, and to avoid running into that man again, I decided to spend the night at a motel before continuing on. In the motel room, the TV was broadcasting the Mega Millions drawing. Using the camcorder, I even predicted the winning numbers. My son was thrilled.
We'll get some snacks. We gonna be rich. We gonna be rich.
But the excitement didn't last 3 seconds.
Come on, there's someone out here.
I got a bad feeling and grabbed the camcorder as I walked to the door. Like a ghost that just wouldn't quit, the white officer said someone had filed a noise complaint and he needed to see our IDs, but we hadn't done anything.
Why do we need to show our ID?
Because I asked you.
That's when he noticed the camcorder in my hand and told me to turn it off, then got into a scuffle with my son. My son crashed through the glass. I pressed the rewind button again. Time took us back to that restaurant. The white officer was there too. I walked right up to him, called him by name, and introduced myself in a friendly way. I told him my son had been accepted to a historically black university, that tomorrow was the first day of school, and I was taking him to register. Then I generously offered to buy him a slice of apple pie. He didn't turn it down, and the mood became warm. Surely there wouldn't be any trouble this time, but just as I was about to leave...
Does that Volvo outside belong to you? How'd you get that car?
I worked hard for that car, Officer Lasky.
He turned and walked away, but when my son and I got to the parking lot, the officer was already waiting there. He demanded our IDs, driver's licenses, and proof of purchase for the car. If we didn't have them, he wasn't letting us leave. I couldn't hold back my anger any longer. This car was mine, yet I had to prove that what belonged to me actually belonged to me. The white officer put his hand on the gun at his waist. My son went back to the car to get the purchase receipt he'd photographed earlier. When he stepped out of the car, the officer thought he was reaching for a weapon. He pulled his pistol, squeezing the trigger without mercy, but all my son had in his hand was a phone. I lost my son. The camcorder fell to the ground. After I went to the morgue and took care of everything, I got the camcorder back. Standing before my son's body, I pressed the rewind button without hesitation. Time reversed again. I woke up in the restaurant. This time I'd gone back further. The white officer hadn't shown up yet. I grabbed my son and headed for the door, but ran into him again at the entrance.